Hi, how is everyone? Metaphysical Mama. Happy Friday. Well, that's the day it is as I'm doing this recording. I think it's March 19th, if I'm not mistaken. Possibly, might even be the 20th. I should probably check that out, huh? What is today? Yeah, the 19th. Friday, March 19th. So I'm just going to hop in, check out the energies. Just lighting a little incense to give us some nice clear messages so we can hear what we need to hear from divine loving spirit and ancestors and etc. Please, not only pure intentions. I don't usually say all that stuff. Anyhow, so why don't we start out with, these are fun. It's that nice oracle deck. And move these out of the way for now. So, I don't know, these energies are a little wild. Well, they always are. I think authenticity, that could be a or thinking we know too much. You know, we really, as humans, have so many different perceptions. Holy smack, I just dropped half the deck. Well, here. That's the one that's in the middle from what didn't fall. Defend what is dear to you, Artemis. Well, I think she's probably who wanted to be seen. Actually, that's driving me to shuffle these cards. Archetype. Caroline Miss archetype cards. So yeah, I'm just gonna pop into the energies. I'm just letting it, guide me. We'll pull a couple cards, see where we're at so far. Artemis is right, hunter, warrior, divine goddess. I keep seeing the arrow in a lot of my visions too. For now. I keep seeing that, the arrow. I'm a Sag rising. There's a lot of Sagittarius. You're in Chiron energy, right? And we're getting rid of what no longer serves us. And what else do we have? The deer. It's more than one. And the baby deer. And there's a lot of that too, right? The deer, like in Bambi, the mother got shot, right, in the middle of the field by the hunters. Rebel. And light attributes. Challenges authority to effect social change. Rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Super good. Shadow attributes. Rejects legitimate authority out of anger. Rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. That's pretty relevant. Yeah, it's like the, get rid of the big pile so we can just do singles, because I'm going to probably end up piling them up on top of one another possibly, since we have limited room here. Right? Yeah, because that's coming into the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is, right, humanitarian and very thinking for oneself, independent thinker, deep thinker, ether. See, it's like the translucent moon. Child, magic, light attributes, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. That's beautiful. And it's, you know, once we get rid of our clutter, anything is possible. Shadow attributes: pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles. And a lot of that going on right now, right? A lot of people are freaking out with the virus, going to run and get the vaccine, you know, which make no damn sense to me. You know, as far as herstory, the past goes, vaccinations have caused a lot of problems, and same with prescription drugs, just like prescripted narratives that are thrown out all over the media. Madaya, Medusa, the snakes. And all lies got to be mixed, right? Alchemized with truth to be believable. So it's important as a, right, as a independent, right, we the people, whether it's we the people or as a, you know, an adult or as a conscious aware being or what have you, you know, it's important to be able to have discernment and not just listen quickly to what's being, here's the next card, gossip, thrown out into the airwaves, which, right, the virus is airborne. So if I'm talking shit, right, I'm creating disturbance in the air. I'm vibrating out into the airwaves. I'm sending out snakes. So there's a lot of symbolism with a lot of these things, and the reactions of, right, us, of the people in so many manners is, you know, so put yourself in the position. I do that too. Like, right, we gotta put ourselves in the position. So wait, let's see. Awakens, I can't read that word upside down. Awakens consideration for the feelings of others. Honoring trust. That makes me think of twin flame. Shadow attributes: thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Right? So, yeah, I know that's a them too, right? People that like to just sit around and listen to your information and then twist it into, which, you know, the word crown, wreath, means twist. If you look up etymology of the word crown, and it's also, right, the ring around the sun, the ring around the moon, aurora borealis. I'll sip of my tea. I just wanted to quick read the shadow attributes too for child magic, because it's important we use that right now. Our imagination, magical. We're awakening our inner child, and our inner child is at such, right, fear. They're wounded and hurt and scared and afraid, and we're adults. We have kids, some of us. We already have children of our own, so we don't feel, or men, you know, we don't give permission to be able to feel things and etc. Which is so important that we give one another permission and time and space for processing. Because these feelings and these roots go really deep. And we can't just walk around assuming that everybody feels the same, because they don't. We don't all see things the same. Common sense is really kind of that's common sense. There's certain, right, things that, you know, you don't want to walk across the street if a car is coming, right? Stuff like that. But common sense is not so common. You know, we all have such different ways of perceiving the world around us and our inner environment and our innermost sacred private thoughts that we've always had, right? With, say, God, our inner true self, our soul, and how it speaks, right, since we were a child, before we learn language that we were given by another, right, to be programmed with, so to speak, right? So it's not always bad. It's just we have to recognize, like, where we came from, and, right, our Adam and Eves being born into physical Adam and Eves, were like born as like a clean slate, right? Like I have my coffee pot here with water for tea, right? So we're born like clean waters. our soul and our consciousness comes like a baby through our Adam and Eve parents, and we're born, right, innocent as an Adam or an Eve. And then it goes deeper, right, metaphysically, multidimensionally, right? Our Adams and Eves are also our thoughts and our feelings. Atoms are our thoughts, and our feelings are our Eves, our emotions, energy and motion, the feelings. And we've had our heart chakra cut off for so long, and that's our divinity. So bypassing the heart and bypassing our emotions to exempt empathy, pretty much. And that's what a lot of the, like, great MK Ultra, super soldiers, blah blah blah, all that, like, those are just terms and words for that are coming out of my mouth for, right, like, all the different programs, right, projects, which are also, we all decided to be part of this human experience / experiment, right? But it's important to create boundaries and defend what's important to you. So a lot of social distancing, we're a body of water. You need to protect your land, your waters, your thoughts, your dreams, your sexuality, like, meaning your like spiritual, I'm talking about like astral plane, ether, and physical, right? But like, because a lot of us get spiritually raped and in dream state, and a lot of other things have been, right? Like, there's boundaries that are crossed that are unseen, that when if we try to converse about or tell somebody else, we look dang crazy, right? So, or that's how it's been for a long time, but that's all coming out now. So, because it's being more seen. So even though all the other stuff is being shown on the TV screen, it's like, leave that shit off. Best you can, unless you're gonna just tap in to read between the lines, and you, right, not allow it to enter into you to cause disruption and etc. Because when we have negative words being thrown at us, or we're swallowing that shit, that's negative thinking, negative thoughts, stinking thinking, or someone else is using those words, whether we're listening or on television, right? Television, on a pre-scripted narrative, or someone else that has unprocessed emotions and thoughts. It's like, great, I can listen to that, but knowing the difference, being aware and having the awareness to know when I or someone else is more or less, right, babbling because we're trying to comprehend, we're going through the chaos, going through the shit that we're trying to process. So we have a lot of conflicting thoughts and feelings, right? Which is like a house divided against itself, or Jacob wrestling God, which is, right, our human nature is trying to decipher and go through all this, like, but this, and, right, questioning oneself, and then feelings come up, and then if I change my mind, this is what everybody's expected me to be, or if I want to do something different, I'm having different feelings of wanting to go in a different direction, right? Or maybe I'm doubting the belief system that I was given, and now I'm kind of scratching my head and having to go through those thoughts and feelings and my childhood, memories are coming up, right? Or different, right? I've had a lot of people pop back into my life lately. So exciting. Oh, it makes me really happy. And so that's super cool. I mean, that's telling you, like, even though through all this chaos, there's a lot of really cool things. We're coming back together to help clear each other and help heal one another. So as long as you stay on that vibe, you're good. Just keep swimming. Because some people are going to freak out. You remember that movie Bird Box? People are going to freak out. People are going to have whatever, and it's okay. We do our best, but it's like, you can't save a drowning man. If you try to save somebody else, it's like, remember the Titanic. It's like, people are going to grab you down and drown you before you can save them. Drowning. You have to keep swimming in the water, right? Way different. And, think everything's in water. So this is about self-respect, self-honor, and detachment with love. So not like, F you, get off. We don't want to kick somebody in the face, but at the same time, right? We're not going to allow, we can't, you have to worry about you and hope, and as well as, right, we try to be humble, we incorporate patience, but it's also important to create a boundary, a healthy boundary for, right, for safe love, detachment with love. So companion with your companions, right? We're making sure we're trying to find our relationship with self, with others, our twin flame relationship with self. If you've had a twin flame relationship with another, or in some manner or form, that's to, again, well, where is it? There, right? Woke us up, awakens our consciousness, right? For of others. I can't read upside down like this. Awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust, and the shadow attributes, right? We already read that too. Thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences, which that's like the news, the government, all the arguing, the protesting, right? Because here, being a rebel and challenging authority and creating social change, that's what we're all doing. But we don't need to go run around and cause complete disruption and, just be like, F you and da-da-da, because then we're just causing more confliction and freaking turmoil as well. So we ain't no better than the people we're talking about, then people that are, right, participating in that kind of, or have participated in that kind of, behavior. So companion, light attributes: loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. Shadow attributes: betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. Yo, that's big right now, right? Like, mad people taking information, there's like Photoshop, voice stuff, right? Face scanning. They've been doing that for so long. That's another reason for the state virus, COVID, social distancing, putting everything on pause, because everybody has a specific electromagnetic signature. Just like the video I did yesterday, I briefly started discussing, money, magnetic money that's made with, right? It's made with ferro fluid, which is of iron, which is magnetic. And each dollar different, right? A 1, a 5, a 10, a 20, 100, etc., 50. They all have different magnetic signatures. So when you put them into a machine or what have you, or to pass from hand, they have different, right? Different magnetic strengths, different magnetic vibrations that pull from you, first of all, that cling to you, and then take part of your electromagnetic, debris or body, that can be then scanned and interpreted and used. Because don't forget, everything is consciousness. Everything has conscience. So if we're not, you need to protect yours. I'm learning to do the same in all different areas. But as we protect our different bubbles of consciousness, the different water bodies, planets, stars, our physical body, right? Our fields of consciousness, subconscious, unconscious, the different states that we go in, dream state, right? I dream while I'm awake more so than I dream while I'm asleep. I don't ever remember my dream. Very, very vaguely, once in a blue, I have visions that I can remember when I'm waking up from actual sleep, from slumber. But most of the time, I tap in. I think I've always had that, like, daydream. I always been told, right, like, hey, come back to Earth. Because I've always been connected with spirit and nature and the vibration of and harmony and disharmony with things. So it's not always the words that we have are human, and they're great and beautiful, but that inner knowing and, right, telepathy and the subconscious and where our heart really lies at, right? The constitution that's written on our heart by God, where our true peace is at, deep, deep, dark within us. You can't, right? A word butchers and hacks that. right? Hacks, like a virus, right? It just confuses it from its pure nature. And then we're all trying to, all interpret things differently due to our different beautiful, chaotic minds of perception and deception of self. And right, oh, I think that, and then no, I can't think that, and why do I think that, and why am I feeling this way, and I thought I wanted this, and right, we're so confusing. The psychological warfare that goes on within our own frickin' minds, right? And then fights our own battles, our own emotional body of feelings, and then tries to come together in some manner or form and walk around like we think, right? What a mess we've been for so long. So it's like, right, keep laughing and have fun, because we're just discovering so much more about ourselves, right? Discovering America. Christopher Columbus, discovering America, not in the negative way that the story's told, in the way that we're diving in deep to discover ourselves, what's within the flat map of the 52 states of us, right? How many states of consciousness, or, right, what kind of state are you in? No, we live in a different state physically, and then, right, what state of mind are you at? Stuff like that. So I need a little sip of my tea. So next card we have is the Don Juan card. That might be like we have our twin flame, and then we have sometimes the shadow twin flame, or they say the false twin, or whatever have you. There's so many different, right? The devil, Satan. They come knocking. Remember? Jesus got tempted by Satan, or the devil, for 40 days and 40 nights, right? So getting tempted, and, again, just when we have acknowledging where have that Grateful Dead song, friend of the devil is a friend of mine. If I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Only some may remember that. We got a lot of different generations, right? But the Grateful Dead, awesome band. Friend of the Devil. Good song. Because we all have a devil on our back, and our devil is our ego and our protector also. For when we get scared, our inner child is like, and the devil comes like, I'll protect you. And it's like a big helmet shield, and it's like, I don't want to do that. Da-da-da-da. So when just start playing with your consciousness and looking at self and seeing the different, right, areas. Because, yeah, it could be called, like, right, a schizophrenic. But once you start, taking those little bits and pieces and understanding the different multidimensional consciousnesses, right, of said name and vibration, and then if there's a positive, there has to be an extreme duality on the other side, and then somewhere in the middle, and then varying degrees, right, like spreading outward into different colors, right, Neptunian, all the different possibilities. So at first we start positive, negative, black and white, this or that, and then somewhere in the middle, or we haven't experienced any of that parts of, right, that consciousness yet, or that state yet, or we've only experienced partial. So now we're, incorporating, right, it's quantum entanglement. We're untangling timelines and quantum entanglement and going through all of our emotional bodies, right? And as we're traveling through space, through the asteroid belt, each asteroid is like a feminine, is a different emotion. So really that's part of what the dormant atom, sleeping atom, is getting woken up. The virus is always dormant within our bodies, within our cells. And it's like 3 parts, kind of like the peace sign, right? 3 parts of pie in a circle. 1, 2, 3. Me, myself, and I. And so we've been operating on, right, 2/3. 2. And as we say, the 1/3 junk DNA, right? The other 1/3 is the human, but that's all part of in the same circle of the sphere, right? So now as we go through the asteroid belt, a different piece of our different atoms, the molecular structure inside our water body and saltwater body and land mass, right? Our physical bodies, as we're traveling through, it's like, and then different ball here, like right here's a good, different balls of disruption, different atoms are going to get, right? And depending on who we are as an individual per sun, right? The sun is a star. There's so many stars out at night, right? Abraham had uncountable, just as many stars. And we are all the stars, right? Why we come from, right? What's your zodiac sign? Your sun sign. But that's your sun sign. I just cracked something. You know, to get your natal chart done, you have to find your moon and your rising sign, your ascending sign. So then, because the sun sign is just your solar, the ego, going back to the devil, that's our identification. And then our moon is how we feel inside, which may conflict with what comes out of our mouth. It does for me all the time. I'm like, how come I feel so like, I'm an Aquarius moon. I'm like, I'm so deep and I have all these thoughts and like they're so, and then when I speak, it's like, brah, I feel like I'm like a horn, you know, mega horn. It comes out so different than how I feel internally. And I'm a Sag rising. So that's how your ascendant sign or your rising sign is how other people see you. So it's like the mirror, right? So it's so interesting. Once I understood that, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense. Because I'm a Taurus, I'm a sun right on the cusp of Gemini. I'm May 19th. So that was always confusing to me. If I read a horoscope when I was younger, I was like, that doesn't, it kind of, but it didn't really make any sense. It didn't really quite meld. So then once I learned about the moon sign and the rising sign, I was like, oh, see, it's like those three parts together, because it's like, that's why, because inside I feel this way. And right, and then I still need my chart done by someone that deeply knows that better than me. And I have a few people I would really love to have do that. But so one of these days, well, I'll never had my chart read yet. One of these days. So anyhow, but yeah, you know, we have so much confliction, again, talking about, right, Jacob fighting God or the conflict within oneself. You know, these things happen and it's like, here, Don Juan, spotlight your positive, seductive qualities, right? So not being afraid to step out into the light, which I think, you know, the creative energy, it's kind of, I keep thinking of Munchkin Land where, you know, all the little munchkins started waking up and, oh, Maraca. Had this thing with my kids since my children were little. This is like I felt like I was supposed to shake it there for some reason. But you know, oh, I shook my own thought away. Cheapers. Yeah, oh, being creative, Munchkin Land. Yeah, it's like rub your eyes, get out of bed. Wake up, you sleepyhead. So yeah, and like being cautious and aware, but also at the same time gentle and loving, right? Again, back to the gossip, or yeah, awakening consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. So, you know, doing that with, you know, it's a cautious walk, right? It's like a tightrope, balancing that without getting too excited. Look how many people in, like, say, Hollywood, you start to get money, you start to get famous. It's like everybody's then your friend, right? Or a family member passes away, and now the whole family's fighting over the property, the money, blah, 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 whatever, and now the family broke up because why? I mean, thriving of power, which, right, money's only one God. It's only one example of currency that we all exchange, right? Currency is electricity, AC, DC, alternate current, direct current, like a friend of me were talking about last night. Or, right, with Nicoletta, and both are necessary. Both are important. But we have ability, and we are the energy for free resources and energy. So as we keep digging, and everyone wants to wake up. I mean, I believe everybody would like a peaceful, humble, harmonious, right? You're not humble all the time, but I would hope it's somewhat humble, right? Because we can have fun while being humble. Again, having respect for others' feelings by honoring trust, right? So, because I love to jump around, have fun, be crazy, and I'm not alchemist. I am an alchemist, right? Twin flames, we're master alchemists of the body. See, doctors and nurses, mad respect. They have a purpose. However,